Josh, I can only go to the gym like 3 times a week, maybe for 45 minutes. I don't have a whole lot of time. What do I do? Hey, athletes, let's talk about how you can get a good workout even just 3 times a week. Now, in the past, you've heard me say you could train your legs pretty frequently, right? You could do it 3 times a week if you want. See where I'm going? You know, you can train your upper body. Maybe not 3 times a week and just hammer it, but you could, okay? So remember in the past we've talked about total volume. So yes, in the past I have said, hey, you should do your push and pull days maybe on a Tuesday. Maybe you do all push and then a little bit of pull. Maybe on Friday you do a bunch of pulls and a little bit of push. But volume, okay? If, let's say in 2 days, just doing upper body, okay? Let's say in 2 days, in total, you do a total of 12 sets of pushing type stuff. So remember, a set is like a round. So if I say you need to do 4 sets of 6, that means you're going to do 6 push-ups, you'll rest, and then you'll do it 3 more times after that for a total of 4 sets of 6, which is 24 reps. So, sets. 12 is a great one, okay? 12, you don't need to push it too far. 20 is a lot, okay? Maybe in your first few weeks you do 12 sets of pushes that week, 12 sets of pull, 12 sets of legs. And then next week maybe you'll work on 13 sets. Then 14, 15, 16, maybe you take a week of a lot lighter and only do 6 or 8 sets of everything and then build back up again. So, you only got 3 days a week. You've only got 45 minutes. So, assuming we're going to start with about 12 sets of total work a week, that means each muscle group we can do 4 sets of. So you have a bunch of options. Do I just, let's say squats. Let's say I'm going to use squats for my legs. Maybe you do just 4 sets of whatever squat you're doing. Maybe you're holding a weight on your chest. Maybe you've got front squats, back squats, overhead squats, deadlifts, whatever you're doing. You do your 4 sets of 3 to 5 if you're strength training, 6 to 8 if you're just trying to build a little bit of muscle, or 10 plus if you're trying to keep your heart rate up. Then you decide a pushing exercise. Okay, so I know I'm going to have 3 days. Now I know with pushing there are a lot of different angles I can go. We've got the horizontal, we've got vertical, some in between, you can be pushing down, things like that. Alright, so on Mondays I'm going to really focus on pushing off my chest. On Wednesdays I'm going to focus on pushing over my head. And then on Fridays maybe I'm going to focus again on pushing horizontally or pushing down or even pushing vertically again. Okay? Same with pulls. You've got your horizontal pull, you've got your vertical pull, you can pull in between, right? But typically we talk about horizontal and vertical pulling. So maybe on Monday you think, I'm going to do a bent over row with a bar, so both arms are doing it at the same time. Then on Wednesday I'm going to do pull-ups, okay? Or pull downs or TRX pull-ups or whatever, okay? Then maybe on Friday you're thinking, okay, rather than working both arms at the same time, I'm only going to work one at a time. I'm going to do maybe a one-arm pull-up, a one-arm row, something, okay? And again, doing your rep schemes, because you only got 45 minutes. So, if you haven't seen the video on circuits, you probably want to go see that one next. Because if you only have 45 minutes, you need to warm up, okay? So there it goes 8 to 10 minutes. Okay, now you only have about 35-ish. You need to cool down, you need to clean up. That's probably another 8 to 10 minutes, okay? So you've really only got about 25 minutes to really get a good workout in. So we know that we want to start right around 12 sets of everything, okay? So what if you did 4 rounds of 3 exercises? So maybe you take that squat, you take that horizontal push, that push-up, let's say, and you take that vertical pull, a pull-up, and you just put them together, okay? Hey, I'm trying to promote a little bit of muscle gain. Okay, everything sets of 8s. Okay, everything you're going to do 8 times. So I'm going to challenge myself so that I'll do 8 squats. Then I'll rest maybe 30 seconds to a minute, okay? Those 8 squats better be tough. Then I'm going to move on to some type of a push, my push-up, let's say. I'm going to make it really hard by doing it on my toes today, because maybe doing it on my knees isn't that hard anymore. Or maybe doing it on your knees is really tough. Or better yet, maybe you're going to put your feet up on something because 8 regular push-ups isn't very hard, or introduce some element like a ball or something like that to make it tough. Because again, 8 needs to be challenging, because just getting to 8 doesn't mean anything. It needs to challenge your body. Then maybe again, 30-second rest. A minute is kind of pushing it, okay? Just because by the time you get back to that exercise that you started with, it's going to be, 2-3 minutes. So again, 30 seconds, maybe a minute, okay, if you're really going crazy. Then you go to your pull, whatever it is. You do your 8 reps, it's challenging. Now you take that 30-second minute break, you're right back to your squat. You do that your 4 times, and guess what? Boom, you're done. Now when you come in Wednesday, you pick 3 other exercises that you're going to do 4 rounds worth. Different areas, different angles. Cool. You're going to do that Wednesday. And then on Friday again, different angles, or maybe instead of doing both arms at the same time, you do one arm at the same, one arm at a time. Maybe you're doing some different type of a thing for your legs, like a lunge or a leg curl or whatever. Okay. So you do 4 rounds of each on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's 12 total per muscle group. Now next week, you know what? Wednesday wasn't that challenging. What if I did a 5th round? Perfect. You do 4 rounds of the same thing. Maybe you add a little bit of weight. Maybe you limit how much rest you take, or maybe you don't take breaks or whatever, trying to make it a little bit harder than last week, but not so excruciating you can't complete it. You do your 4 rounds of the exact same exercise, just stimulate yourself a little differently. Maybe you do 10s instead of 8s. Then come Wednesday, I'm going to do a 5th round. I think 4 wasn't enough. That 5th one will really get me. Cool. Okay, you added a set of work to your week. You are now doing 13 sets. And then again on Friday you do basically the same workout, but you make it harder for yourself in some way, shape, or form. Then the next week comes around. Now, you don't have to keep adding sets to get a good workout. Again, you can just add a little stimulus. Maybe instead of doing sets of 8, I'm going to go a little heavier. I'm going to see if I can add 5 more pounds to my row or my push or whatever. Dang, now I can only do sets of 6 with it. Hey, that's fine, okay? That's fine that you can only do now 6 shoulder presses. Maybe this week you do your 4 rounds of 6. Next week, maybe you try for 7, try for 8. Because again, challenge is challenge, okay? Whether it's 6 or 8 or 10, it's going to change your body, okay? We just need to make sure that we're challenging our bodies to a certain point. Maybe you do this for 4 weeks. And then again, you need to take a week where you're kind of eliminating some of that stress. Maybe instead of doing 4 rounds of everything, you switch to 2 rounds of everything. And with the 45 minutes you have at the gym, rather than spending that 25-30 minutes in your workout, you spend a little more time on your recovery, okay? Or fixing your body. Because remember, a complete athlete knows their weaknesses. Maybe you pick just exercises that are challenging in a balance type element. Maybe you can't really balance on one leg. Perfect week to do one-legged exercises, okay? We'll talk more about deload weeks, is what we call those weeks where you are kind of eliminating some of that volume and that stress and working on your weaknesses. We'll talk more about that in the future. But again, you only got 45 minutes. Let's get the most out of them.